I'm just going to get my drink. Good morning. Let's wait for you to join. This is the hard bit, when you're waiting for the numbers to come up to see who joins. I hope I get somebody. Oh, I've got somebody. Hi, Christine. I'm not going to keep the camera on me for too long because I sound like a man. Sound a bit husky today. So, are you loving the collection? I hope you are. Well, I know you are because I've seen all of the comments on Julie's live, which was fabulous. Morning, Philippa. Okay. Just going to wait a bit longer. Wait for you all to come and join. There's Leonie. We are going to be doing another live tonight at 7 o'clock from this page. Good morning, Julie. And later on at 7, I will be showing you some different concepts, but then making a couple of cards as well. So, all good fun. I'm looking at all of the piles in front of me and it makes me smile. It really does. Okay. Now, obviously, I understand that a lot of you have had to go off to work and maybe you're watching us back on catch up. That's absolutely fine. I'm just going to see if I can I share this? Don't know which button to press. I'm not going to press any of them in case I lose it. That wouldn't be good. Okay. Right. A couple more minutes. I don't even know what the time is. I haven't got my watch on. Right. I'll get some things for you to look at while I'm going to flip the camera. But I'm so excited to share how many different things that you can do with the die sets. And like Julie said, they're presented as squares. But it doesn't mean that that's all you can do with them. And you know me, I love a nice bit of construction and kind of concept. So when I was designing these, that's what kind of the thought process that went through my little brain. And just seeing it all come to life was just amazing. So I am going to flip you now. Let's just do that. And I've just put like a black coating on the table just so that everything really pops off for us. So, as you would have seen, morning Joan. Oh, morning to everyone, and thank you so much for joining us back again. Right, so initially we have our 2 die sets. We've got our squares and we have got our circles. Now, anything you can do with this one, you can do with this one, and vice versa. These tags, here's one look. So I'm just going to put it up close. Can you see there's a lovely kind of stitch detail around there to indicate where the little stamped sentiment, the alphabets go. And they look really wonderful, whatever colour you stamp them in. And it's just, do you know what else makes me happy? I'm just going to put this in. Now, this is nowhere near the amount, but all of the bits that pop out, just save them in a little pot, because whenever you need anything, stamping, any name, any personalisation, you've got all of the tiles there ready. You've just got to pop them in. I keep one bit of waste, so say like this, keep this with my stamping platform, and then I can just pop in and stamp any single word I want to. So yeah, super, super easy. So the whole idea is, I wanted to be able to cut into the cardstock to create lots of different concept cards. So that's why we have got no cutting edges on here. But then obviously the cutting edge, you have got that lovely stitch design on there, and then you've got that cut. So you can make a frame, you can make a topper, you can you can score them. They are 100% symmetrical. So that allows you, if you wanted to, I mean, I haven't done anything with it, but you can absolutely have like pop outs with that fabulous design in there as well. And you could continue it down with the smaller circles or the panel of circles in the middle as well. So that's one way of using them. Now, like Julie said, she popped hers straight off the packet, put it all through a die cutting machine and made herself some stencils. I just wanted to show you how beautiful. It's a fabulous little base for a cardstock. If you want a card in a hurry, ink through, you can multicolour, little sentiment on there, maybe a couple of stars. You've got a card in a hurry. And again, you can get creative with your scoring and your chopping into, maybe you're just doing a corner. Very, very easy to mix and match your stenciling with your die cutting. So that's another way of using them. I'm going to move those out of the way. I mean, the sentiments, what can I say? These just, they're yummy. The size is just perfect for whether you like making A6 cards, 5x7, DL, 6x6, 7x7, 8x8. These work fabulously, whether they're on the front of the card or the inside of the card. Still lots joining, so good morning to you all. I can't really watch the comments, but I will read them afterwards. So there are my word dies, and I've just got them on a magnetic shim until I get my organised storage sorted. Now then, as promised, let's start off with A6 cards. Okay, the simplest size to use. And I've just gone through and cut, I think there's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different ways to use here. And as I've sat here this morning, I've thought of more. So it could easily be probably up to 10. And whatever I've done in squares, I can do in circles. So all of a sudden, that's 20 different card designs. And we've not even tickled it yet. So the small die just popped into the front of the card, gives us that fabulous little aperture. That's one way. And if I open that up, you can see that lovely design. And the reason, so I didn't bring any stamps out with these because these are core dies. Any single thing that you have got at home in your stash, you can use alongside these 2 die sets. Morning, Wendy, thank you. So then, if we double extend that, we can get the panel. Now what that means is, let's just grab this. If I bring this die in and just show you, I've popped that on there and die cut one. And then I've linked the bottom row and done another one. And if I turn that over, you can see it kind of clicks into place. So it is super, super easy. It doesn't have to be like a panel. You could do maybe just a couple out this side and a couple out that side. The choice is yours. It will extend wherever you want it to. So that's the second choice. Okay. Then this one, I've gone and done 2 diamonds on there. Just because of the area, I could have done them off the card if I wanted to. So that's number 3. Now, the second die up is the tiny squares. So just die cutting that into the front of the card, but then using the matte and layers. So the black one is the die that comes in the set. And then I have just cut a 6.5 centimetre square to go on there to continue my theme. But how elegant does that look just through there? So then, if we cut the squares and the next one up, that makes for a lovely card. But what about if we cut a frame? So to do that, you will need this die. You will need this die. And you will need this die. And that will come away and give you the frame, which then you can piece onto your card like so. And the bit that falls out of the middle, now I've just done this on double-sided, you can pop that behind there, or you could stick it in behind the card so you've got the colour shining through. There's so many choices. So that's another way. This one. So I love doing this one. So cut the aperture through with your little squares, but then grab that die and that die, cut it together, and then cut this one out of white, pop it on the top. Gives you the most beautiful frame on there, but being able to see through there is just fabulous. So that's another one. But then how about, oh, let's pop this on. So we've cut this one in, and then we pop this die in at the same time. Cut that through, it gives you the aperture. And then do some mats and layers in the side, and that gives another version. This is the one that Julie was talking about this morning. So, one square there, and one square there. Now, if you count the squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I know that on the 7th one is halfway, and that's how I did it. So I went, oh, that's 7, do that, and that gave me the perfect ones. Now, for instance, on that card, I know that these, if I angle it, Peter's little poppies and cornflowers would fit perfectly on those little panels, and maybe some of his Helenium ones would fit.
So it's
okay. So that they're all squares. Now we can absolutely repeat that in circles. So we've got our panel, we've got our diamonds, we've got our little aperture that we can make our frames. Even if you just wanted to put one on there, I just think so pretty. A little sentiment on there, tiny little flowers, they would look gorgeous. So all exactly the same as the square ones, but in the circle version. And of course, why not start mixing and matching them, putting your circles and your squares together? That would look amazing too. And there is your circles. I've just done them. I just wanted to keep them very clean and crisp so that you could see, easily identify how they've all been done. Okay. So that's all of them already. Let's move on. Now, maybe we like making square cards. Okay. So, very, very simply, I'm going to try and get these so that I can show you as I'm doing it. So, just simply in the middle, and you've got your aperture there. So that's the largest one. And then I've got the next two sizes down. Of course, none of these don't have to be in the middle. You can put them down to the corner. You can put them in diamonds. The choice is yours. And then this one has got the larger two. And then, of course, you can do your topper in the middle, build that up. And the choice is yours. So that is 1, 2, 3. This one is all of them. But again, you get your pretty pattern papers in there. A lovely sentiment on the front. Amazing. This is so crisp and clean. Just a little aperture in the middle of the square. Gorgeous. Now this one, we've got the circles on a diamond, but in the middle, this is embossed. And then I've just added one of the squares from behind just to block out the holes, but so lovely. This one here, this is 4 of the squares. I don't know, what are we on? Circles. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, just something completely different. And this one, morning Dawn. This one, I love this with the aperture. So I've got an inky background here, and then I've cut my circles, but I've used the outer frame and the inner frame to create my little aperture. But how nice is that? You could add acetate or vellum in there if you wanted to. Now then, this one is just simply embossed into the card. I love the way it embosses. It gives, you can use either side, the choice is yours. It's a lovely deep emboss. Now, I've got an old machine in here called an Emerald, which I use, which is fabulous. But at home, I've got an electronic machine. Just make sure that it's the layer for embossing. You do need a rubber mat, though. Now then, this one, this is gorgeous. So, a Z-fold card, but intermingling. So we've got our die cuts, and we've got them layered up. But on the inside, I've mimicked that, but embossed it. And it doesn't matter if you cut or emboss, you're still getting the same level of detail. It's fabulous. On one of my cards, I inked through. I die cut, I popped this on, and I inked through. And when all of the little bits popped out, they looked like the little fried eggs from the Haribo sweets. It looked so cool. Right, and then... oh, this is my easel one. So I've decided to do a half one there, but you could absolutely do a full one. And that gives you the easel. But I love the way that everything matches up perfectly with underneath. And it's just so satisfying when you sit back and you look. Okay, so there's some circle ones. Again, all of those, let's just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All of those in squares as well. Here is one just to show you that's embossed, and I've literally really roughly rubbed an ink pad over there. But how lovely does that look? Now then, shall we go to this one? Yes, we will. Now, I haven't joined this because I wanted to show you options. So on this one, I have made, I'm just going to raise that up a little bit, a little Z-fold card, okay? And I've cut my squares in, and then I've decided to make a topper and put it on as a diamond. And I thought, oh, that's beautiful. I love that. So I'm going to repeat it. So that's what I started with, which would be this way around here, okay? I've done myself another diamond. This would get added on here. Why can't you interlink that and get a perfect little... And then if you want to put something in the middle, you've got choices. You can do an emboss frame in the middle, or you can do a cut frame. Now, another technique there is if you do the emboss and then lay a die cut over the top, that's called pillow emboss, because you've got that raised area that kind of brings it up to the level when you've got the detail on there, which looks really effective as well. So that's another option. Right, I'm trying to keep my piles in order. That sounds wrong, doesn't it? How lovely does this look? So these are just embossed onto a black card. And then the old drag the oxide pad over. Just so effective. Maybe you like making 5x7 cards. Any of them designs I showed you on these, you can do on a 5x7 card. It's going to look just as effective as well. Again, I've mixed on this one. I've got embossing, I've got die cut, I've backed it. Lots of different options. What about if you, let's go on to these ones. These ones are 7x7 cards. Now, what I did here is I kept this shut. I have got proper piles, Brian, let me tell you, and I'm proud of these piles. So, the little... I die cut. I kept the card shut when I ran it through in my machine. And then I've overlapped. And I've overlapped again. Now what that means is I get a perfect cut on the front. But on the back, it doesn't cut through. It marks it enough to give me that detail. And I just thought that that would be so nice for mail. Excuse me. Any orientation. I mean, that you can do that on any size card as well. It's just another way of using it. This one is with the smaller circles. Of course, you can do it with your squares as well. And I've just linked. So we've got one linked by one and linked by one. I could continue and do a cross. The possibilities really, really are endless with these dies. DL cards. I've just popped a couple on here because it's just to show you how many different ideas there is. So this one here is 2 squares on a DL. But if I open that up, that would be like equivalent to your 8x8 card. So you can have the 4 on there. Then you can have a square over the top in the middle. I don't know what it is about DLs. Just lately, they're like I love a DL. And then linking. So I've got my 2 squares, but then 1 over the middle as well. And that gives me uneven, but symmetrical. Either way round. Ribbon threading, stitch threading, anything you fancy. Let's have a look at some A5 cards. So, I loved it. I just love the simplicity of it. Die cut into the card, but then matting and layering on the top with the remainder of the dies. Of course, you can mimic that design through. Maybe you wanted to, if you've got enough room, yeah, you have, look. You can pop that stencil in place, get it in the perfect position, fancy ink through there, and then you've got that design mimic through to the back so that when you open it, you've got that detail bouncing through. That's a great idea. Now this one. So Julie had one quite similar to this. In fact, 3 squares. She didn't mat and layer in the middle, I don't think. She might have done. But again, how gorgeous is that? If you had a big long bit of card, you can just keep going. Maybe you're doing a nameplate for a child's bedroom. Maybe it's just a piece for your wall in your lounge. The choice is yours. Photographs in there, all sorts. You see, these please me because it's the symmetry. Are the stencils extra or part of the big bundle? Good question, okay? So, these have been made by ourselves. Now, you can buy Mylar, and you're really looking for a 250 micron for it to be able to cut through effortlessly. So, if I'm just layering these dies back up, all it means is you pop all of that. Well, actually, that's a lie. You take that one out and that one. Okay? And you pop that through your die cutting machine and cut. And that is what you get. It doesn't have to be Mylar. Do you know what? If you've got some mirror board, and I say mirror board because the ink will glide over the surface. Obviously, it won't last as long as Mylar, but, you know, you're still getting that same level of detail. So, yeah, that was just by luck that I glanced and saw that. Let's see. Rennie McIntyre. That's good. Right, so, now then, I'm getting excited now because I know that I'm getting to my super favourite ones. Okay. I'm going to show you some finished samples now. So just starting off, super easy, simple. I'm going to come down a little bit for you. This is just a little A6 using Peter's Marguerites, that gorgeous little frame, but then stamping the inside with the foliage galore in the background. They're so easy to put together. And that sound, I don't want it to sound like, but they are. It just makes me happy. I love this. It's simple but effective. So, just bear with us 1 second. That's it. Right. So we've got that frame, but then I've done like a spotlight there as well to lift that up, which is brilliant. And then on this one, so I'm just going to grab one thing.
Yes. Yeah, all in stock now.
These two stamp sets,
Yes. Yeah.
they're all designed to work with these dies as well.
No.
So what we've done is we've die cut in the front to give us this effect. And I've done like a print around with Julie's sunflower set. And then on the back, I've popped in Be Kind. And it just matches perfectly. And the bit that I love is that every time I die cut anything, I'm going to get lots and lots of these. And it's just going to make it so easy that you've always got a bucket full of them that you can just go, oh, well, I wanted to put Betty on there. So you can stamp that and pop that into. So that's that one. And then nice male one here. So this is just embossed onto the black. We've got that lovely star on there and the lovely sentiment. It's just, that's it. It doesn't need any more, but you could do packs of these up. Yeah, love them. And then this one. So this is a little bit kind of, it's on a card base, but originally I was thinking a little bit wall arty. And what I've done on this one is I've tied it in with some of my previous stamps, circle medleys. I've used stencils around there. We've got Julie's hand-picked florals on here. But all of my detail is embossed. And I've used the reverse side of it. I just think it gives a lovely effect. But look at those gorgeous tags with the little glosses on. Just really had fun doing that. It's fabulous. Now, this was the card that Julie was referring to. Oh, yes, put Betty on it. Yes, okay, Betty. I don't even know why. Betty just sprung to mind. So this was my DL card size. And I die cut in. Again, now this one I might have done differently. I did. Okay, so I cut. And then I butt this piece up to the end. And I do the same. Do you like the sound effects? So I've got 3, but they're not overlapped on this one. They are butted up too. And for my brain to work out if it would fit, what I did was I got this one, because they're absolutely the same size, and I laid one in, and then I thought, can I get 3? And that's how I worked it out. And I thought, right, do that. Absolutely, yes, I can. So the outside and the inside edges are all exactly the same. Just searched on the web. What can't you find? Are the stencils? Okay, we've just covered the stencils. Paul, do we have any Mylar? No, no Mylar. Stencil film we should have in soon. Okay, so that's that one. And then we've got this one. So this one is just stenciled through. And there's a story behind this card. I'm going to bring this in. And I'm going to bring this one in. Okay, so I was making a DL card. And then, for some unknown reason, I didn't like what I'd done on the outside. So I chopped the front off and I thought, I'm going to use that. And I'm going to put some texture paste on a piece of card. So that absolutely worked. Very uniform. And then I thought, oh, I want it a bit more sporadic. So I'll just use that now. Pop some more mixed media. It's going to work fabulously. So that's another way of using. So then, I'm just showing you lots of things because honestly, it's so vast. I haven't even got into just making frames yet, okay? So this one is, and I've still got 4 fabulous cards to show you, but I'm so excited about them. Just using the plain dies. We've got the outer. We've got the inner. Now, of course, we could put the pattern in the middle of that as well if we wanted to. We can just cut little panels like so. Little apertures. This, oh, honestly, endless. Now, this one here, there was a few samples with this on, and I just want to explain this because it's all right when you see it and you think, oh, yeah. And then when you look at it, you think, how did they do it? So we've got a frame. And then we move it up one. We click it in. We cut again. And again. And again. And again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cuts. Each time you do it, it just clicks in. You can feel it's clicked in there, and you just make sure you give it a wiggle, and when you're happy, you run it through. I could have continued, and there was a question. I'm just going to grab, not a question. Julie showed one of Emma Smith's card, and she had got 3 panels. It was red and white, and she goes, oh, there's only 3 across there. How has she done that? So she would have just gone in here, lined that up at the end, which would have given her an equal little border, like so, down there, and she would have continued and cut the same border. That gives you 3 panels. So you can really, really get creative and chop into them. I know I've just chopped that up, but it's important that you know how it was done. Okay, so that leaves me with... Oh, which one shall I do first? I'll do this one first. I wanted to use my Christmas collection from last year because I absolutely love it. We've got the trees, we've got the stags, we've got the happy, which I've built up here. And then... I saw it, Julie. It was only at the last minute, and I'm surprised my head worked it out this morning. We've got the Christmas, so it matches in perfectly. Now, this one, I've got 2, and I'm going to flip it over. I just cut 2. Now, on the back here, I'm going to... I put the things on in foam pads, and then when I turned it over, the foam pad was showing. So I got some of the discs, and I just popped them in the holes, and then it took away the sticky bit. And then I stuck a piece inside because there's a gorgeous verse, and you know me with finishing the inside, and I've just picked it out so that it's central to this bottom square. So that's the first one. They're going to get better as you go through. Honestly, I'm going to save the best one till last. The trouble is I'm really struggling which one now. Okay, I'm going to go this one. This one blew me away. When I showed Julie my colour palette, she was like, oh! And then when I showed her the card, she was equally as. Okay. So, here it is. This one is using hand-tied, hand-picked bouquet. And I've just used that one stamp, and I've stamped all the way around. But it's one of these fancy flappy ones, look. How gorgeous is that? It matches up perfectly. It stands. It's just, I've got extra bits over here. We've been doing these through workshops this week and last week. And honestly, they just love them. So that is that one. It just makes me smile. I don't know why. Okay, and then this one is a 7x7 card. Again, this is just one colour. Oh, this last one was Uncharted Mariner. Now this one, this is Bundled Sage. I'm going to bring it up. Look at the detail. So this has got my background stamp on. I'm just going to look what it's called properly. It's called...
Hello, it's Paul from Dragons Papercraft. I missed a call from you.
The ticket's in the way. Summit Medley. It's a really nice backgroundy stamp in that background. Now then, look. Okay. Oh, I love it. It's gorgeous. So, let's just show you, look. This die here is the inside of that.
Yep.
And then we have got, you've got this one. Oh, it's just such, it's a simple card, very effective. It's not decorate, do you know what I mean? Look at that detail in there. How nice is that in a soft colour? And then we've got that fabulous verse on there. Today is your birthday. Sit back and have a rest. Here's hoping your day really is the best. Now, one more. This is the last and final one before I let you all go. Oh, look at this. Okay, this is it. So this one is an 8x8. I've got the detail in the background is a mix of Julie's, I've got to see what the name is, hang on. Hand-picked blooms, just randomly stamped in colours. And then I've got her birthday background stamp. If I bring that up, look, it's just all in the background, just adding on. But look what happens. Oh, the symmetry just, it's pleasing, isn't it? I just love symmetry. On this one, I've chosen Love You. So the love from With Love and the you from Thank You, because you can mix and match them and make all sorts up. And of course, you could even mix them with stamps that you've got as well. So I'm hoping that you're all, oh, actually, there's a few more things. I've still got some bits in a pile. I love that. It's my favourite. And the green one and the blue one. Here's your panels, look. Now, on one of Emma Smith's cards, there was one, look. Look at the difference here. Now, this is the difference between overlapping and butting up to. Let me just grab the actual die. Here we go. So, this one is overlapped. So, there's 3 cuts on there. This one, 1, 2, 3. Now look, so I've done 3 butted up and I've got an extra bit there. So I've overlapped and I've got an extra bit because it depends on the size of the piece of card that you're cutting and what you want it, what size card blank you're using. So they really, really are so versatile. The last little bit here, I think we've covered it, but by doing this cut here, it can be a Z fold, it can be an easel. It's the exact same.
That's great. Thank you very much.
With your matte and layer, and you'll get that beautiful little frame all the way around. Phew, and breathe. Right, let's just grab that. I'm going to turn you around. Let's see if I can do that. So, that's it. I've showed you everything. I hope you love it as much as we do. I'll be back at 7 tonight from this page, and we are going to we're going to maybe cut a few concepts, and I will decorate some cards up, and we'll have fun. Sorry about my husky voice. Don't know why. It's just husky. So, yes, I will look back at all of the comments. Thanks again for joining me. If you're watching on catch up, hope you've had a lovely day, and hopefully you can join me live tonight at 7 o'clock. So thanks very much, everyone. And don't forget, the list of suppliers is at the top of this page. I can't remember them all off by heart, but it's there. And yeah, enjoy. If you've ordered already, thank you so much, and just enjoy. See you later.